These are good days. Everything is going good with everything, 'cause these are good days. It's going good with everything, it's going good with everything. And I know that because these are good days. Everything is going good with everything, 'cause these are good days. Good days. Good days.
Welcome to These Are Good Days with Lee Ann Miller.
And Matt Barris.
Well, Matt, did you ever cheat in school?
No, I
Like,
didn't. I
on
didn't
a
have to.
On a test or on
Like-
homework?
No, I really don't mean to brag, but I never really needed to do that.
I did. I cheated.
I know.
I
Well, usually it goes, cigarettes are a gateway to further debauchery. And that's, I just think it's a gateway.
You know, the irony of my cheating is that I cheated in Bible class.
Oh.
Mr. Duncan, God rest his soul.
Mr. Duncan, if you're listening from Heaven's Gates. Mr. Duncan.
Yeah. My sweet friend, my childhood friend, Linda
Yeah.
Sue Barrick was Heinsohn at the time, Linda Heinsohn, and her dad was the Dean of Divinity for the longest.
Well, that wasn't very divine of y'all. That was.
Well, it wasn't really her fault. I think she felt a little peer pressured into it. And what
Oh,
happened...
really? Do you think you're persuasive? Honestly, if people that don't know you, you could get people to do stuff for you. This doesn't surprise me.
Here's what happened. I was absent the day of the test. I didn't really study.
Yeah.
And I asked Linda if I could have her graded test, just as a guideline.
Oh, right. Like a study guide. Like the exact same test.
I took her test she got an A. And,
Well, duh.
and much to my chagrin, I answered the questions and missed a line. So all the...
You really cheated. You studied the answers in order.
all the right answers were on all
Lee Ann
yes,
Miller.
all the answers were a line off. So Mr. Duncan knew that I had cheated, and he knew enough about her answers that he knew that I had taken her test. So we ended up in Mr. Peterson's office, the principal, and I look back on that now. I wasn't really scared.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me either.
Should have been.
None of this shocks me.
And then I basically said to Mr. Peterson, it's all my fault. Linda, it's not Linda.
And he was like, yeah, I know.
He said,
I know.
Yeah, very, very aware. Like,
Yeah. we know how this went down. You don't need to paint the picture.
So yeah, but that was no, it wasn't the last time I cheated. I cheated again in college.
What? Why are we confessing this?
I don't know. I just had that
Do you
thought.
feel good? Does it make you feel better?
Well, Ben Starling,
yeah.
if you are listening, I convinced him to write a term paper for me because I just didn't want to do it. And he was so smart. And we got a great grade.
Here's what I think. I think if we were friends in college, we would have fought because I would have been like, I am not writing papers for you.
Yeah,
you would have been like, Matt, please.
Yeah, you would have kept me honest.
Yeah.
You would have been like,
I
Leanne,
wouldn't give
write
into
it.
the peer
No,
pressure.
you would have been, Leanne, write it yourself.
Yeah. And
Yeah. I just felt like I was just thinking about it today. I was like, I wonder if Matt ever cheated on anything.
No, not that I can remember.
Yeah, you were probably just like the perfect student. All the teachers loved you, all that stuff. And maybe I was thinking of it because it's your parent-teacher conference week.
It is.
And maybe I was thinking about like that and thinking like you probably got all the parent-teacher conference like awards.
There aren't any. But it was, it did feel good to come home. This is something we do with our kids is we the other night we came home and we kind of like replayed the parent-teacher conference for them because I want them to know what the adults that see them during the day
I agree.
say about them. And it's just so edifying and uplifting when it's great news.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
Great reports for the Barris kids.
We have enough to face in this world that's hard. When we got good news, let's share it. And with your kids, it's so important.
Yeah.
You kind of can get caught in the everyday and forget to share those edifying words with your kids.
Totally.
And they really carry them.
Totally. Leanne.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my good day.
Okay.
Actually, you tell me yours first because I think mine's going to flow
into our actual topic. My good day was this past Sunday, just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
We went and met our son Joey and our new daughter-in-law Emma at Rock City Church at Polaris. and it was wonderful. We had an incredible church service. And I have to say, one thing that I love about this pastor is he got up. His name was Chad Fisher. He got up. We sang, we sang praise and worship, and we didn't sit down. He started talking, and he said, "I want everybody to remain standing," and we were all standing up. And he addressed what was going on with the video that was posted of the Obamas on
That made its rounds
on Trump's social media. And he handled it so honestly and so gracefully, but very firmly and upfront. And I appreciated it so much because I think that our spiritual leaders and listen, I know this is a very controversial subject, but I think our leaders are called to call out when they feel, especially when they feel led, when something is wrong, that should be righted. I don't think that we necessarily need to be, waving the American flag on stage and, I don't think we should become super duper political in church. I think we should keep the separation of church and state. I believe that. I believe it's that way for a purpose, but I don't believe when something is so wrong that part of your congregation is really hurting and upset and bothered by it, that it just felt so good.
So what did he say that
he basically
had an impact on you or moved you?
Well, he just basically said, like, we're all aware of the video that went, that was on our administration and Trump's personal social media. And for those that who have not seen it, it was very racist and derogatory. And it was, and he's like, and I'm just going to say it front, it was wrong.
Yeah.
It was hurtful. It was racist. It was wrong.
Yeah.
And I am here to say to the people in our community in this church who are black, who are brown, who, I'm ad-libbing. I mean, basically paraphrasing that we see you, we love you. We know that this may have been very upsetting and hurtful. And then he said, and just like I would expect of any leadership, when you have done something wrong, it is very important to make it right.
Yeah.
It's very important to apologize, and it's very important to make it right. And he's like, whether it was I'm not going to argue whether it was him that did it or a staffer that did it. He's like, it was under his leadership. And I feel like if it was wrong, it should be made right. And it was just it really felt affirming to especially, listen, if you are listening and you are white, ask your friends of color what they think.
Yeah.
Before you say, why is everybody making a big deal? It was an accident. It's not a big deal. It's not a thing. It's just a joke. No.
Right.
That's easy to say when you're white.
Right.
But if you're asking people close to you, a trusted voice that is a person of color, they're going to tell you something different than, I thought it was funny, or he was just, I know he was just kidding. It's different. So I love that. And I loved the message. The message was so good. It was on 1 Peter, 1st and 2nd Peter. And it was great. And then we went to lunch.
Where did you go?
I went here's what happened. I was standing in the lobby, and this sweet lady by the name of Julie came up behind me and said, Leanne Miller and D? And she said a D. It was so cute. I said, yes. She said, well, gosh, I follow you on Instagram. And we hugged, and it was so sweet. And I said, we're going to lunch afterwards. Where would you go? And she said, go to Chili Verde.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Well, you say it.
Well, I don't try to put on an accent on you, so I would just say Chili Verde.
Chili Verde. That's it. Verde. It was delicious.
I wouldn't be like Chile Verde.
No. It was delicious. No, you wouldn't do that.
Remember when Teddy went through that phase?
Yes, he did. Okay. And it was delicious. It was close to the church, so we went right after church. And then Emma and Joey went with Daryl and I to get new tennis shoes because I've started going back to the gym and my
Yeah.
feet and shins and ankles and everything were killing me because I didn't have the right shoes. So we went to a place called Roadrunner that fits you with like
That's great.
insoles. And so we got shoes and then we went back to their house and hung out a little bit. And it was just lovely.
That's awesome.
The time flew. Time just
I love
flew.
days like that.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
me too.
My good day was my birthday was last weekend.
Yes.
And you know, when you're 41,
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot
41
about
now.
this. People asked me, what did you do for your birthday? You know, that's a very normal thing to ask.
Yes.
But my birthday consisted of eating meals with people that I loved.
Yes. Yes.
And
And
nothing.
and your robe.
I was in my robe.
Yep. Knew it.
I
knew
was
it.
making granny squares. I was watching Columbo.
Yeah.
I was doing the normal things
It's
we
the
do on a
perfect
weekend.
it's the perfect birthday.
And you know, was great is we spent the morning we went to my mom's for brunch, and she made some of my favorite breakfast foods. So she made creamed eggs,
Oh, I
the
love that.
Rebecca's recipe
Yes,
of creamed eggs.
love that.
She made biscuits and gravy. Apparently, I like gravies and sauces. She made homemade biscuits.
Yes.
She made
delicious.
really good bacon. And then went home and relaxed and truly watched Columbo, in that afternoon. And then that evening, some friends came over. We had pizza. Their
Yeah,
kids
so
came over
good.
and played video games, and we talked, and it was just great. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't anything like last year for my 40th. We went to Disney for the weekend, and it was
Yeah.
so with just
Yes,
adults. It was so
yes.
fun. But this year it was like a quiet birthday, and I appreciated it.
You know, if you're new here, it's what our podcast is really all about is days like that.
Totally.
And days like the one I
Well,
just
and you know,
shared.
this year, one of my goals for this year, we don't really set goals, but one of my intentions for this year is to unplug from my phone a little more and plug into some other things. One of my goals is watching more TV. Might sound weird, but I've been doing it. I've also read 17 books this year so far.
In a month and a half?
Yes. It is the year of our Lord 2026, February 10th,
Are you doing
I
any
think,
audibly?
today.
Audio
No,
books?
with my eyeballs, both of them. Both of my eyeballs on pages.
That's fast. That's fast
I know.
reading.
I know.
That's
Well,
like
they're
a
like
book every 2 days.
they're those thriller books. They're like fast thriller
Yeah, I
books.
love those.
So I've been reading, and I've probably made about 60 granny squares.
Wow.
Mallory's going to be making a blanket.
Are your
we really-
fingers sore?
No, I mean, she does press me, and they bleed a little bit, but nothing a litl Carmex won't fix.
Mallory's cracking the whip with the granny squares. I told you I want 10 granny
That's right.
squares.
And so honestly, it's been like our Hygge life
that's
this
good.
year already so
Yeah,
far.
I have enjoyed winter this year. I do think it is partly because of the vitamin D.
Well, I
because
mean,
I've
you
been-
did escape to Africa this winter.
Yeah,
let's
that's true.
Let's
I-
not
that's
ignore
true.
that.
That's true. That's true.
Some of us have been in Ohio.
Yeah, that's true. Oof.
But yeah, so it was an awesome birthday, full of people that I love.
No, that's
and
awesome. That's a perfect
doing
birthday.
Not a whole lot.
It's a perfect
which was
birthday.
Great.
Well, today's podcast is going to be wrapped around your birthday. We're going to talk about 4 things
Yeah.
to stand for 41, 4 things you learned when you were 40, and then 1 thing that you hope to carry into 41. But before we do that, we're going to do a little Mad Dash.
Yeah, birthday
Mad
edition.
Dash. We're going to do a little Mad Dash birthday edition. You're going to ask me the 3 things first, then I'm
Okay.
going to ask you, and then we're going to go right into your birthday.
Chocolate or vanilla cake, if you had to pick. Is that one of yours?
White cake for birthday. White cake
Gasp.
for birthday with white icing.
White cake for birthday.
For yeah, it's
It's not like Memorial Day white pants. Are there rules?
I guess.
Well, I disagree. Listen,
With white
Skyline
frosting.
Eric.
That was my first thing.
That's
white or
funny.
chocolate cake.
Well, maybe you rubbed my nose. Skyline Eric's wife made me a birthday cake this year, and she made a really good cake. And I will put this in the show notes.
Okay.
It is Ina Garten's recipe
Okay.
of her chocolate cake, and I found the video of it on YouTube from
Oh.
probably 15 years ago. It's like a tried
Is it
and
a
true.
layer cake?
It's a 2-layer cake. Of
course it is. I would expect nothing less.
And you know what
from
it is?
Skyline
it
Eric's
was. She uses really good, a lot of Dutch processed
cocoa. Yeah.
And then the other thing is she puts a cup of hot coffee in
Oh,
it.
of course.
And
yes.
it was so good.
so good.
I'm going to put it in the show notes.
Okay,
I'm writing
put
it
it in
down.
the show notes. Okay. What
Okay,
was
my
the
next
second
one is, would you prefer a surprised party, like a surprise, or do you like planned, like knowing what's going on?
It doesn't matter.
Do you like big gatherings for your birthday or not? Are you like, eh?
I'm more like the day that you described.
Yeah.
I just really want
Like
people
little
I love
pockets
around.
of
Yeah,
people.
little people I love around. People I love around the table. Remember that one birthday that all of you came over? It was you and Mallory and M. Not M. M wasn't in Tennessee, and Kat. And we were just. It was just.
Well,
just
one
a
of your
group
birthdays, remember we bought that candle that spun? And
Yeah,
it
that's
like,
what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
that was fun.
Yeah, and it's
Was
just,
Carlos
it's just,
there maybe?
I think so. Carlos
I think
and Heather
Carlos
were there.
and Heather were there.
And it was just people that I enjoy and love around the table.
Yeah.
That's really my perfect birthday.
Well, this kind of goes into my last one.
Surprised me. Whatever.
Yeah. Are we going out or are we staying in for your birthday?
I have the same question.
That's hilarious.
Eat out or eat in?
That's funny.
I'm probably pretty much always going to pick eat in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll eat out. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it, especially if if I'm getting out of the cooking.
Sure.
Because sometimes that's nice.
Sure.
But I'm going to pick eat in.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Well, I only have. Oh, do you have?
Oh, that's it.
Okay, I only have one more left. That's not the same one that you had. For a gift, would you prefer a vintage gift or a brand new techie gift?
Ooh, that's actually a really good question
know.
because I could go either way.
I know you could.
You know what's funny is for my birthday this year, I didn't ask. I was like, don't get me anything. Mallory got me a couple vintagey things that I loved. And you know what I asked for? Our friend, we haven't really talked about these friends on the podcast, but my friend Kayla, it would be Nate's wife, Kayla.
yeah.
So Nate's the worship pastor at our church. This is his wife, who is
Yes.
an OB nurse in the area. Kayla writes, I'm going to cry. Kayla writes the best cards. And I literally texted, those were the friends
Yeah,
that came over
yeah.
on Saturday night. And I said, really, all I want is a card from Kayla.
Oh, that's
I was like,
so
I
good.
just want a card from Kayla.
That's so
because I have saved every card she's written me, and it it never disappoints.
Oh, that's good.
She just, I'll let you read it after this. It was just,
I think
like,
that
those
probably you
things
should
are
take a
also
picture of
special
it
to
and
me.
put it on our Patreon.
okay.
Seriously, because listen, especially when you know that a person's love language is words of affirmation, to write them something is really special.
You know, there was a year over my birthday. We did dive in. I don't remember how much we've talked about when I was leaving the church and all that stuff. There was a year around my birthday that was really hard. I just felt really defeated at work. I felt like really misunderstood, really unseen,
Really not valued.
really not valued. And
Why is it that sometimes it's church environments? I mean, I know it's other environments, but
that's a whole podcast.
church environment, it's so hard when that happens, but continue.
So for my birthday that year, Mallory actually asked people to text her
Oh, I remember this.
words
Yeah.
and notes. I
And she
actually
put 'em
have
in-
them
she
in
put
this
'em on
room
cards,
somewhere.
yeah.
And she put them on cards, and I
remember.
have them.
Yeah.
And it was one of my favorite things ever because I just read, she probably got about 30 people that know me and love me, and they texted her words, and she printed them out on cards so that I would have them forever. And that kind of stuff is really special to me too.
When you look back on that season, you don't know I'm going to ask this. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with what we're getting ready to do. But when you look back on that season of leaving a job that you thought you'd be at for a long time, and you loved it so much, now that you're on the other side of it, you're really on the other side. What do you see? Like when you look back on that landscape, like the memories of it, what do you see? Like if you're looking, like say you were suspended above yourself, what do you see of yourself? And then what do you think your biggest takeaway is now? Not then, but now. Like, so what do you see? And then what was your takeaway?
I think when I look back on that time,
No, this is a hard time at work.
yeah,
Okay.
this was a hard time.
Yeah.
I think when I look back at the time, what I see in myself is I've told you this within the last year. I came across a journal and I reread it from that time. And I was so earnest.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
just
I remember.
so genuine and wanting the best for myself and truly still believing in the organization until I didn't. And I think that's the hardest part when I look back on myself is when I look back, I'm like, oh, I truly had
You were trying
such good intentions.
and trying so hard.
And I truly had my heart in a right posture. And I think if I could go back, and there's this song that's been really rolling around in my brain for like the last 2 months. It's called Always on Time by Elevation Worship. And there's a line from it that says, if I knew then what I know now, I would be still and let you work it out.
Oh, that's really good.
And I think if I could look back and tell 28, 29, 30-year-old Matt, I think I would say be still.
Yeah.
Because that's something I'm still practicing at 41.
But listen, as your friend, I felt like you were trying to do that.
Yeah.
But your emotions, we're young, in our 20s. Our emotions are almost just seeping out of us. You were trying to be still.
Sure.
You were trying to wait on God. You were trying for him to work it all out. But I think the emotions were so big around it, and the trying so hard was so big around it. I guess why I'm asking is because if there's somebody out there that's just going through such a hard time at work, I think one thing that you said I think is such a good piece is just to be trying your best.
Yeah.
To be earnest and be trying your best, because listen, you can look back on that now and read those journals and say, you know what? I really did do my best.
I'm proud of myself.
Yes, because you can't control the narrative and
100%.
the people that are operating out around you.
And, even to this day, in my current job, when things happen, I am proud of myself. I know this might sound weird, but like I'm proud of the integrity that I hold. I'm proud of the way that I treat people. I have people at work that I trust to have sensitive conversations with. Of course, we all have to have those people, but I am proud of that. And I think when I look back on that time, I still feel like I'm living with an earnest heart. That's just like, I want to do the right thing.
So is your takeaway now on the other side of it, those lines to that song?
Yeah.
Is just,
I mean, I'm still learning it at 41, right?
Yeah, right.
That's actually one of my things that I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, so can you set up the idea for this?
So I was just thinking it's your birthday and it's 41. 40 is the monumental birthday.
Right,
The decade birthdays seem to always get the most attention.
They get so much attention.
And actually, I remember my 40th birthday.
I was there.
We're
getting old.
I know. And I wanted to know from you, because I thought, it'd be kind of fun to do something around your birthday, because we put on our Patreon Facebook page, our private Facebook page, I put a picture of you up.
It was so kind.
And the people that posted,
I know.
It was so sweet, the
so
things
kind.
that were said. And I just thought, we should do something. We should do an actual podcast about your birthday. And you've processed a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like there has been like these huge traumatic events or big, huge, earth-shattering events in your life or your family unit, but you have processed a lot this year.
Yeah.
You've grown a lot in work, and I thought, what are 4 things that you feel like 40 taught you, or there were some takeaways for year 40?
Yeah, I got it. And then so I have 40 for 40. 40 lessons that I learned in 40, and then one thing that I'm looking forward to carrying.
4 things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry.
4. Now, 40 would take more than one podcast.
we're in part 6. So here's the first one. I think we spend a lot of our time in our 20s and 30s worrying about what other people think. Worrying that people are looking at us.
For sure.
Worrying that people are watching us. And as I continue on in my early 40s, I haven't mastered this, but this is something I'm working on, is be cringe.
Yeah.
Because here's what this means to me. Like, be yourself 100% of the time. Here's what I've noticed as I've gotten older. And I will say truthfully, probably in the last 2 to 3 years in my current job with the people that I work the closest with, I feel like I continue to grow more authentic. I continue to be who I am all the time. And what that looks like is, for me, it's sharing some of my life. It's joking around.
Right.
It's being vulnerable with people that I trust at work. And I'm specifically thinking about work. But at the same time, like, I would say in my 40s, I am learning to, and I'm going to continue to learn, to lean into my authenticity, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, that's good.
What that looks like for me, it means I'm a crybaby and I don't care.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to hide when I had a meeting with my superintendent, with my boss, last week, and I started crying twice. And it doesn't bother me anymore. There was a time where I was like, is that weird?
Yeah.
Does that make people feel uncomfortable? I actually don't care anymore.
Yeah, right. It's good.
Because I know my intention with it. I'm not trying to get it attention.
Yeah, right.
It's just a part of who I am.
Yeah, that's good.
Even things like
we like embrace the Ball Baby podcast as our second title.
That's right. I think as you age, you realize everybody's got their own thing going on anyway.
It's
so
so
do
true.
you. Like,
do you?
Nobody's
do you,
losing sleep about if Matt Barris likes Disney or if he cried at work.
Do you?
Nobody's losing sleep about that.
Boo.
Because you know what they're losing sleep about? They life.
Yeah.
Because they life, they got to work on their own life.
It's true. It's true.
So I think that's the first thing. The second thing would be, I think as I get older, there's this book that I read back in the day called Good to Great. I forget the author, but it's called Good to Great. And it's how good things in life are the enemy of the great things in life. And I think as I get older, I am trying to fine tune what things in my life are just good and what things in life are great. And here's what I mean by that. I think we can have good friends in our life. I think we can surround ourselves with good people, with good friends. But as I get older and as my time is such a valuable resource, I am spending the most time with the great friends.
Good.
I am investing the most time in people that fill me up. I'm not looking for a crowd to love me. I mean, that I still struggle with that sometimes. But I'm looking for those people that are going to fill me up. Maybe as silly as this sounds, even things like clothes and food. I'm buying less clothes, but I'm buying great quality clothes.
Yeah.
I want less food in my home, but I want really good quality food in my home.
Yeah.
And I think as I get older, I'm realizing the value of it's not about the quantity.
No,
it's about the quality,
so
whether
true.
it's people or food or clothes.
I feel like that's part of what Africa taught me too.
Yeah.
It's just not about having a bigger house or
Right.
not about having a newer car. It's just.
Well, and this goes into what makes us feel rich.
Yeah,
You know what makes
yeah.
me feel rich? Having friends that I could call at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what
right. That's
doesn't
right.
make me feel rich? Having 40 acquaintances.
Right.
You know
right,
what makes me
right.
feel rich? Having pants that feel like they fit good and are
Right,
good quality.
right.
You know what doesn't make me feel rich? It's having sloppy things that have holes in them that I might have 40 pairs of them that were
Yeah,
cheap.
right.
So I think that's part of it too. As I get
Yeah.
older, it's like, how are we spending our time and our
it's good.
resources?
Yeah, it's good.
Number 3 is unplugging. I grew up in such a funny, when you look at generational things, I grew up in the weird era where I didn't have technology as a child, but I kind of grew up with technology. Cell phones became popular around my freshman year of high school. So I kind of grew up with it. My kids have always known technology. Your generation never had technology until you were an adult.
Oh, don't I know it?
Oh, you would have been on the Instagram, riding your bike on the highway and cheating on Bible quizzes. DM me the answers for Mr. Duncan's Bible quiz. Slide in my Q&A box.
Give me the answer to number 4.
Meet me for some cigs behind.
About when Saul became Paul. I need to know.
What road was it? Was it the Damascus Road? But my generation grew up where it kind of grew up with us, and I'm watching this happen in society that we're valuing unplugging more. And I think it doesn't mean that we don't have technology. We talk about this all the time at work with AI because AI is a tool for education. And I think sometimes we think we really can't be anti-technology or anti-AI or anti-social media.
Right.
I mean, you can, but it's here and it's going to stay.
Right.
But I think for me, it's unplugging into the things that suck life out of me and that just deflate me
and Matt,
plug into things that really fill me up.
I can't get over how the younger generation is doing this too. And I mean, I know you're younger than me. I know you're 41, but I'm talking
younger.
about people in their 20s, like Emma and Joey. Well, Joey just deleted all his social media accounts, and they unplug in the evening, and they have this little nighttime routine with their sleepy time tea, and they unplug. And I think I think part of the reason is because they did grow up with it.
Right.
So it's really wrapping your arms around how to manage it.
You know what I've said, and I've read an article about this. We often criticize young people for their addictive personalities towards social media
I'm
and
telling you,
technology.
it is.
But I promise you,
The older
I
people
see
are the
more
worst.
older people.
Oh,
they're candy crushing in the grocery store. Like, come on, Grandma. You
also
can crush that candy in private.
Also, listen, if you go out to dinner, it's not people in their 20s and 30s on their phones.
I know.
It's grandma. And then when she gets a phone call, people in their 50s, 60s, 70s in a restaurant talking on speakerphone or talking loud. I'm like, what are you doing? It's not the 20-somethings.
It's not. I think there is this deep craving for connection. 100%.
Well, and also it's the older generation not growing up with it. So
Right.
they haven't been taught like a philosophy of putting parameters around it for unplugging.
Right. Well, and I think too, we also have seen how it hasn't benefited us.
Right.
Where it's like, sure,
right.
I'm super connected all the time, but I actually feel disconnected from
Well,
people.
and what taught me was plugging my phone in the other room.
I know. I'm still so proud of you for that.
It just taught me that it does do something to the brain.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
To just have it right by your head and just to have it in another room, you just wake up slow and your brain starts to wake up slower and it's just healthier. Okay, what's number 4?
My number 4 is that your legacy is people.
Yeah.
That you're
that's good.
When I look back on every season of life, whether it's, high school, college, working at the church in my 20s, now working in education, the older that I get and the more I see those relationships maybe bearing fruit or coming back around somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, the legacy that we leave in this world is truly people.
Yeah.
And I think the investment in people, the energy that we spend towards people, that is so important and it's so critical. And truthfully, in this season of life, what it looks like my wife and kids as a priority. And there's other people that we choose to invest in our house, but that's a big part of my life right now. And I think I'll never regret the time that I give to my kids and my family, true. And truthfully, like even our closest friends. Yeah. I'll never get that back, and it's so important to me.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so those are the 4 things in the year 40. Yeah. What's the one thing for 41? What's the one thing that you're gonna take into 41?
I think as I go into 41, a big part of when I look where I am in life and as I look forward, people talk about the midlife crisis at 40 or 45 or 50. And I don't feel like that. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I don't feel like I need to buy a convertible. I don't feel like I need to get hair plugs or anything like that. That's not my vibe. But I do think I'm at a place where, and this kind of goes to what you asked about church at the beginning of this, is I think I'm at a place where I want to be in a posture of willingness to say yes to things God brings across my path. This is one of my intentions for 2026 too. Yeah. And here's what I think. I think for me, as I go into my 41st year, I want to be willing. What I wrote is willing to follow the Lord and ride the wave. Mm-hmm. I was just talking to someone recently that I work with, about just kind of like looking at the future. I love having a plan. I mean, know this. Yeah. I love a plan. I love knowing what's going to happen.
Right.
And as I look ahead,
you want to ride what you would normally say, what you normally do is you want to ride the wave, but you want to know how high the wave's going to be,
100%.
How long you're going to be on that wave.
100.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
What vehicle you're going to be in on that wave.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, I used the analogy from the Bible where it says, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Yeah. And what that means to me and where I am wanting to grow in and where I'm looking ahead is when you think of the analogy of a lamp. We don't use a lot of candles for light very much in our era. But if you would imagine a candle or like a dim light, and you're trying to get around your house or walk through a forest or something like that, the candle only shows 1 or 2 steps in front of you.
Yeah,
a candle does not give you a whole
the
lot.
whole hallway, right?
And I don't like that.
yeah.
I want a flashlight because I want to see 30 steps ahead to know what I'm walking into. But the reality is God doesn't ask us to trust him. It's going to make me cry. God doesn't ask us to trust him for the 30th step.
Right.
God doesn't say, hey, by the way, 30 steps from now, this is what's going to happen. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, this is the next step. And are you going to obey? And are you going to say yes to the next step?
Now, do you connect that this is just a deeper layer of maturing what you said about looking back over your 20s in the church? Because what you said there was a quote from a song.
Yeah.
That was, if I knew then what I know now,
I would be still and let you work it out.
Okay. So you're saying in year 41, that's still what you're still saying it, but it's just a deeper level.
Yeah, it's still
it's just a
well, and the
deeper
reality
layer.
is there's more at stake.
Yeah. Well, and
when you're 41 and you have 3 kids, there's just more at stake to when you're like, sure, God, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like there is more at stake
There are
than
more
when
people,
I was 28 or 29.
And I also think that all of us have certain, all of us have certain places within our faith walk.
Sure.
That seem to be reoccurring or you seem to.
Isn't that right?
And they're not all the same.
That's right.
Mine has been my question, and I feel like there's just been different layers like this with you. My question is, my big faith question has always been, can I really trust him? Like, can I really trust him? Like, I mean, all the songs, all the verses, I know we can trust him, but I'm always left with, but can I really?
Yeah.
Can I really? So I think that for you, it sounds like for you, it's the, that whole idea of having faith enough to say, I'm going to ride the wave without knowing all the details.
Well, and it goes back to, what's that book that we read 20 years ago?
Principle of the Path.
Is that what it was?
Andy Stanley?
No, it's the one where it's by Peter Scazzaro.
Emotionally healthy spirituality?
Yes, emotionally. I think. I don't remember. But there's this book. Oh, that's not it. But there's this book that really boils down a lot of our hangups in our faith to significance, acceptance, and security.
What book is that?
And for me, it's for us, both of us, it's really security.
Yeah.
Like, God, can I trust you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you got me?
Yeah.
Like, even when I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I think, that's why
I need to figure out that book.
I actually think, put it in the show notes. I actually think that we can listen. I think that it is important to be spiritually healthy. And we were raised in environments that focused so much on spirituality.
Yeah.
And didn't focus very much on emotional health and mental health and physical health. So I think that now there's a more holistic approach to our overall health, and that there is a connection between our emotional and mental health connected to our spiritual health. So I think if we go back to childhood or parental relationships or generations passed down of what some of those emotions are, I would say that can I really trust you? It probably goes back to my family of origin. There's probably, and then, it's hard to view God differently than you view what your parents, model.
For sure.
So
that book is called The Search for Significance by Robert McGee.
Yes.
And I'm going to put it in the show notes.
Okay, that's good.
So,
okay, I'm going to go through real quick because I have 4 things that I've observed over you being 40, and
welcome to the crybaby.
One thing. Okay. 4 things I've discovered about you. The first one is that words really matter to you. I knew this before. I knew it, but now you know it even more.
That's right.
That words of
matter.
affirmation are really big for you, but you also are very deliberate and intentional with the words you give back, especially if somebody asks you for advice. Like sometimes I even ask you for advice and you say, I need to think about that before I tell you what I think.
I do.
So
Words are important to me.
second thing, you really do love Disney. This is not made up. It is not exaggeration.
Listen, be cringe.
Like
love what you
like,
love
really
and
do
don't
love
yuck
it.
my yum.
You actually love it so much you would rather go there with your family more than getting a new car. No.
I mean,
Number 3.
sacrifices will be made.
You're actually way more structured and intentional than you actually think.
Huh.
I mean, I think you are, but I think you're more than you think you are.
Huh. That's interesting. I'm gonna be thinking about that one.
Number 4, you do enjoy a cozy challenge. Like you like I could challenge you to walk 10 miles a week and you'd be like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." But if I challenged you to granny squares
Game on, Donkey Kong.
or binge watching some show from 1979,
Columbo.
yeah, you're into the cozy challenge.
I am.
Okay. Along with that, home. I mean, I've seen this before, but now, especially with the kids and the kids even getting a little bit older, like home is just very important to you. We're
Home
very
is really
intentional about it.
Yeah.
The thing I hope for you, the one thing for 41 that I hope for you in your year 41 is I hope that you start seeing crystal clearly. You start seeing yourself the way other people see you, because I don't think you do sometimes. And I, people have such high regard for you. They just have such high respect for you. You are so talented and so creative, and you do know those things about you, but not to the level that people see them in you. And that's coming from somebody that's not just your mother.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yep,
I appreciate
that's
that.
all. The end.
Welcome to the Crybaby Podcast. Hey, let's talk about food.
Okay, let's talk about birthday cakes at Walnut Creek Cheese and Market.
They're so good.
They have lovely birthday cakes there, and if you call ahead or you can plan ahead, they will do some beautiful artwork on
They
those
really
birthday
will.
cake. I have seen people. I have passed the birthday cake decorations area in Walnut Creek Cheese Market before, where the girl is putting literally a hunting scene on the cake.
I know.
Like with big buck deer and
I know.
and trees, and so
It's mesmerizing if someone's decorating a cake while you're there. It is mesmerizing to watch them.
And I would say if you're going to come to Amish country for the weekend or as a tourist to come and stay, I would encourage you to call ahead and order a cake from there.
Yeah.
Because they're good.
Like if you're
I love
coming
a
for the
store-bought
weekend,
cake.
just like get a sheet cake. Just eat a sheet cake in your hotel.
I just love myself a store-bought cake.
I know. And listen, the frosting of a store-bought, like their frosting is so good.
Yeah,
They
so
also have, what's really cool is if you don't happen to order ahead, they have some pre-made cakes
Yes,
that
they
they'll
do.
write something
Yep,
on for
yep,
you.
they
So
will.
if you forget, or you're forgetting somebody's birthday and you're like, oh, it'd be great to bring them a cake. Or like you could say like Happy Tuesday on
Yeah,
it. If it's a
right,
Tuesday
right.
and you're going to somebody's house,
Yeah,
get a cake
that's
that
right.
says Happy Tuesday.
I will say if
There are
you-
no rules about cakes. Buy the
no.
cake.
Buy the cake. Eat the cake. Buy the cake.
That's right.
If you are new here, Walnut Creek Cheese and Market is in the village of Walnut Creek. There are 2 locations, one in Walnut Creek, one in Berlin.
Right.
Their parent company is called Walnut Creek Foods. That is like, they do so many different things. They have canned goods. They have all kinds of jams and jellies. They have all kinds of pickled things. They have all kinds of pickles. They have all kinds of relish. They have all kinds of things that they sell online. But if you go to Walnut Creek Foods or Walnut Creek Cheese's website, you can look for their locator page.
Right.
And you can type in your zip code and you can find where they sell those items
right.
in your town.
Just today,
yes,
our friend Ellie Akey in
Yes.
Columbus
Yes.
messaged us a video of her meat
Yes.
counter, and it had Walnut Creek cheese products.
A
lot of
them.
deli meats and cheese.
A lot of deli meats and cheese
in her deli, and I love seeing that. So
Yeah,
I
I
love
do
when
too.
you all share. Over the break, our friend Shannon in West Virginia, took a picture of
yes.
cinnamon rolls in her grocery store.
Yes.
And I love seeing where Walnut Creek cheese products are landing in your hometowns.
When our oldest son Teddy lived in Colorado, they went hiking one day up in the mountains in the middle of nowhere, and stopped at this like general store, and there was Walnut Creek foods like jams and jellies and pickles in there. So it is a really great place to stop and visit when you come to Ohio's Amish country. It really, for us, we would say, and we're not just saying this. I said this before even the podcast. I would tell people.
Long time. We love you long time.
Long and
We've
strong.
loved you long, and we love you strong.
So long and strong. Is that it would be a shame if you came to Ohio's Amish country and did not stop at that store.
Right.
The kitchenware section of the store is amazing, but their meats, their cheeses, their bulk foods, even, years ago, let's go way back. Okay. Just for a second. Back in the day when I first started shopping there at their pilot location, their first location, they pretty much had meat and cheese, and that was it.
Yeah.
You might be able to buy some crackers there. And then they grew and they grew and they grew. And I remember when they moved to their new location, everybody thought it was so big.
Yeah.
It's so big. Well, then they added on to that. Yeah. And I remember thinking back then, before they added on, I remembered thinking to myself, I wish that Walnut Creek Cheese and Market had dry good items so that I could be one and done going into that store. Well, now here we are.
Look at
you can
now.
Get your toilet paper, your paper towel, your paper cups.
Look how far you've come, baby.
I mean, look
That's
at you.
right.
Look at you, Walnut Creek Foods.
You'd be so
Walnut
proud
Creek
of
Cheese and
yourself.
Market. But it is a place that you can pretty much get.
You can get everything. Yeah. Hey, one more thing before we go.
Okay.
This winter, we started a Patreon.
Yes.
And Patreon, if you're unfamiliar with that, is a way to say, hey, we see you, we support you. And so it's a subscription. So part of your subscription is truly just to support our podcast.
Yes.
But the other part is there's some fun things we do behind the scenes for our Patreon members. And this weekend, on Sunday night, February 15th, we actually have a live event for our family level Patreon members. So these are people that have said, hey, thanks, we're supporting you $10 a month. We're doing a live event for them. We'll probably have frothy coffee on a Zoom call.
Yes.
We have prizes to give away. We're going to do trivia. We're going to play some games. So this would be a great time to join.
Join this week so you can join us this Sunday.
Honestly, there's some great prizes coming your way.
So
we're excited for that. So if you are part of our family level Patreon, or you want to join our family level Patreon before Sunday, we're going to post a link on Sunday to join us.
Show notes.
It will be waiting for you. Hey, well, thanks for joining us in this conversation all about 41.
Yeah.
Leanne, thanks for your words. Those really do matter, and it means a lot to me. Whether ordinary or extraordinary, we hope you see that these are good days.
This episode brought to you by Walnut Creek Foods.